Welcome to Ignite Me Now. I'm your host, Melissa Mackey, aka Melissa the Motivator. I am a mom to Patience Grace. I am an author, a speaker, and most of all, I am a mompreneur. I am on a mission. In fact, I'm a single mama on a mission to inspire moms all around the globe to tap into their potential, live their best life, and most of all, make money doing the things they love. You are going to learn tactical, practical, and applicable things to your business so that you can grow, scale, or start your business. You are also going to hear inspiring interviews from thought leaders all around the globe. So buckle up. If you love what you hear, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Okay, ladies, I am so excited to have our very special guest here today with us, Amber, aka the Life Purpose Cheerleader. Welcome, Amber. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh my goddess, I am so excited to be loving on your tribe and co-collaborating with your mermaid self.
Oh, beautiful. So as we're here on the Empowered Woman Summit, we are asking all of our guests, what does it mean to be an empowered woman to you?
Oh, I love this question. Like, I get the chills. Like, the visual I'm seeing in this moment is Superwoman. Like, straight up freaking Superwoman. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. Superwoman, Wonder Woman, whatever. But I don't know, for those of you that saw the movie, I mean, I'm sure if you're like me, you got chills during like the women like coming together and like, you know, fighting and protecting their sacred land and all the things. And it's like, you know, it was just like almost euphoric to see these powerful women like taking on their life, taking on what is theirs, right? Protecting their mission and what they believe. And so for me, an empowered woman looks like needing no validation outside of herself, no longer seeking the acknowledgement, the praise, the affirmation from anyone, like literally giving 0 Fs, not in a way of this self-righteous, egotistical way, but just in the space of like, I know who I am. I know what matters to me. I'm clearly defined on my values and I own my self-worth. And therefore I really need nothing from anyone else because my cup is full and I acknowledge myself. I affirm myself and I love and approve of myself. And so from that space, we can create freely. We're not worried about people liking, sharing, commenting, buying our products. We're literally just in a space of like, here I am standing in my power, in my greatness, and the unconditional love for myself and radiating that love out into the world, but not needing anything in return.
Oh, I love that so much because in this crazy connected world that we live, it's all about the appearance. What will others think? I need to get this approval and this acceptance and more likes and more shares and more of all of this stuff outside of ourselves. But when we can truly connect to that of which is our birthright, like our divinity, is the moment that everything shifts. And I love how you shared, you know, once we are one with ourselves and I approve of myself and I accept myself, it's like that love that has completely filled you is like what we radiate into the world. And it's just so powerful because so many women are operating from that place of lack. We're feeling like we're not enough. And so we need to hear from powerful women just like yourselves that it's okay. It's okay where I am right now. There might be some bumps and bruises, but it's all part of the journey and it's loving every part of it. So I am really curious, how did you get to, you know, the Life Purpose Cheerleader that you're running with out in the world today? You know, all of us have a story, and I believe it's really powerful for all the women on this summit to hear your story of how you got from where you were to where you are today. Because a lot of times many women are like, oh my God, I'm the only one going through this and, you know, life is over. But take it away. What is your story?
Thank you so much. And before I dive into that story, you know, I just really want to affirm you and what you're up to creating, because I believe as we heal, others heal, right? And as we share and when we speak vulnerably and authentically about where we were, where we are, you know, and owning all of our inadequacies, we can allow others to see theirs within us, right? And so I just want to honor you for creating this, beautiful container for other women to be seen, to be heard, and to really honor and recognize they're not alone. And I'm so passionate about this because, my heart chakra was really being activated in this moment because I was thinking about, and it gets me emotional really, about how many years I was so disempowered and how many years I gave my power away and how many years I was just searching for approval, for acknowledgement, and for my worth outside of myself in my doing. Because of the childhood. So that actually just brings me really into my story. So I grew up in a super abusive, emotionally, physically, mentally abusive household. And I was raised by a mother who was doing the best she can with mental disorder. And so, she was unable to affirm me because she never felt enough and never felt worthy. My father was an addict for most of my life. And as I got older, became sober and was sober for 30 years before he passed away. And all along the way, my dad was my cheerleader. He was always telling me, you're beautiful and you can do whatever you want. And, thank God I had that acknowledgement as a kid, right? But again, it was more of a phone conversation. Like, he wasn't in the physical form. So I never really knew what it was like to have a divine masculine man in the house showing me what it was like to be held as a woman and supported as a woman, right? So let's just say my childhood was nuts. I grew up in severe scarcity. We went to the food bank one Thanksgiving. I was on food stamps, free school lunch. And I had this really, really big drive because I was told my whole life, we don't have enough, we can't afford it. And it created a really deep lack of self-worth and scarcity conversation, right? That I am still in the process of mastering, right? I've never arrived. So as a child, I learned very quickly I needed to be my own cheerleader. And moving into, seeing the adults around me just not happy and so limited in their thinking. And I just always knew, like, this is not I don't want that growing up. I don't want to be an adult like that. Right. And so I became a cheerleader in high school. I put on this fake smile and, really cheered on the teams and cheered on the sports players and was a big advocate for being the cheerleader for others that I didn't really have at home. And I was kicked out a lot and went to child protective services a lot, but on the outside, I put on this smile, like everything was fine. Right. And I had this moment remembering being on the football field, and my home life was crazy. Like, it was really crazy. And I remember just being so sad, and then like turning around and looking at the crowd and just putting on this fake smile, and on the outside, people probably think I had a great life because I worked at JCPenney's and I would buy clothes with my paycheck and then I would return them every couple weeks to get new clothes. So I looked like I had money, which I didn't, right? And so moving on, and I ended up cheering in the NFL and, followed my dream to be a TV host. And in high school, I was a TV host, and then chasing this false sense of worth, right? I wanted to be famous because then I would be worthy, right? And so as I gained momentum and success in that industry here in Los Angeles for over 10 years, it was never enough. I was obsessed with how I looked. I had an exercise addiction. I had anorexia. I was so concerned with my appearance, which is why I'm so glad you brought this up, because I just wanted to be validated. But even with a, six pack and 0% body fat, I would still pick myself apart, and it breaks my heart because I was in crazy fit shape, but it was still never enough. Just like no matter what celebrity I interviewed, it was never enough. And it wasn't until I lost my father, realized that my boyfriend at the time was a sex addict and was sleeping with strangers. And around the same time, I was offered the biggest job of my life, and I had 5 callbacks. And on the set of E! News, I really realized this was not it. I had this out of body experience. I was like, if I talk about one more celebrity, one more talk about who's banging who or what shoes they're wearing, I'm going to lose it. And my soul was like, you need to be teaching positive content into the world. You need to be teaching Christ consciousness and love. But I had the most money thrown at me ever in my life for hosting, which was my dream. So my dream was dead. My house of home was in shambles and my heart was broken, and I found myself suicidal. And I literally did not know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I felt lost. It was definitely my dark night of the soul that everyone speaks about. My life's over. My dream's gone. I have nowhere to go. I'm done. What's the point, God? And I literally got enrolled to this emotional intelligence programming program, and that was about 5 years ago. And from that space, I realized my worth, I owned my power, and I became the Life Purpose Cheerleader, who is now guiding 1 million light workers to do the work to love themselves and own their worth, so then they can actually begin to live their purpose and their soul assignment and change the world. So for the past 4 years now, I've been coaching moms and entrepreneurs and healers and light workers from around the world to do just that, and to be that cheerleader for them that I never had, and to cheer them on to victory in this game of life and begin to get paid for their unique gifts and their soul assignment. So,
oh my gosh, it's like I have these shivers up my arms. It's so powerful and authentic. I don't even know the word that I'm looking for, but it's so powerful when women like yourselves have no fear in sharing your truth. The biggest thing that I'm finding with women is that none of us are alone, yet deep down inside our soul, we are screaming like we are all alone and nobody understands us and nobody will get us. And, it's the whole pride thing that if I come out and share, I'm going to get stabbed in the heart, in the face. And it's so powerful because I believe that many women deep down struggle with worth. And that's something that you shared just in this. And the biggest kind of light radars that are going off for me is worth. Women associate their worth with their status. Women associate their worth with their achievements. Women associate their worth with the man that they're with. And it's like, we need to bring ourselves back to that which matters most. And the number one relationship that matters most, that you will spend the longest time on planet Earth with, is yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, this worth. You, at the end of your sharing of your story, you really said that I finally discovered my worth. And it's an ongoing process for all of us.
Yeah.
So in your entire journey, what would you say is like 3 powerful steps or strategies or little tools that we can offer women right now? What would you offer? 3 things that women could apply in their life right now to start realizing and rediscovering their own worth, so that they don't have to associate with all of this external stuff in order to feel validated and accepted and acknowledged. What do you have 3 things? I know there's probably a million, but
3, girl, but we'll tap it in. And I'm so glad that you're getting this, because this leads me to your first tool. Take an inventory of your life, because your self-worth conversation, and I didn't even know what self-worth was until I dove knee deep into self-development, invested literally money I didn't have, i.e. opened a credit card, because I knew my life could not continue. And if I could have changed on my own, I would have. And I looked around my life, and this is what I invite all of our listeners to do, is to take an inventory of your love life, your friendships, your relationships, right? Your career, and your bank account. And take an inventory on a scale 1 to 10. 10 is like, I'm popping, oh my goddess, it can't get any better than this. And a 1 is like, what self-worth? Or what money? What job? What relationship, right? So this big spectrum. And just be honest with yourself. And wherever you're at right now, just whip out a pen or whip out your phone and your notes and write down on a scale of 1 to 10, let me rate myself in the relationship department / love life. Okay, great. 1 to 10, rate myself on my abundance, my bank account. Right? 1 to 10, my career / life purpose soul assignment, and 1 to 10 in friendships, relationships. Your bank account, friendships, relationships, love life, career is a direct reflection of your self-worth conversation. I just want that to land, okay? It is a direct reflection, because the results, sisters, are your life. Your life is your results. And the belief system you currently have right now affects the vibrational frequency in which you're radiating at, which is manifesting everything you have in your life. And so that for me was like, damn. And that's why I put, my mission is to guide 1 million light workers to love themselves, own their worth, and live their purpose, because you've got to get to love. And I used to be like, oh my God, I love myself. By the way, I was living paycheck to paycheck. By the way, I was working at jobs that were paying me way less than my worth. By the way, I was dating men that were just mirroring the worth I thought for myself, right? And it was, that's not loving yourself. And if you're not balling abundantly, you got work to do. And we all got work to do, right? And I just recently left a narcissistic relationship of 3 years, full transparency. I'm owning my worth in my business, my friendships, my travel around the world, my clients, my body, all the things, but wasn't owning my worth in my love life. And I'm like, damn. And that was a big smack in the face. It was like, Amber, you get to really take a look at yourself. You're out of vibrational integrity with the mission you're teaching these women. How can you be a stand for these women to love themselves, own their worth, if you're not owning your worth in your relationship? And so that was my real come to Jesus moment back in April when I was like, I got to let this man go. Like, he is not, everything else in my life mirrors my worth except for this dead weight and this energy suck and this abuse that was continuing. This was mirroring my childhood, my desire to want to fix still, right? So take that inventory right now and be super honest with yourself. And then decide from that space, how can I get the support? Because that's the reason why I named one of my programs, Turn Your Crazy into Your Purpose, is because so many of us, including myself, have not arrived, have been riding the crazy train and doing the same thing, expecting something different. Hope, wishing, wanting more money will come, the dream job will come, the travel will come, the man of your dreams will come, the weight will magically fall off. And I think as human beings, that's where the ego sabotages us. So step one, take this self-worth inventory of your life. And don't go into self-beat up, but just be super honest, because if you can't become self-aware and honest, you're never going to change, and you're going to keep riding that crazy train to the ATM that's freaking empty, or, wondering why your friends suck and why your life hasn't changed and why your husband or boyfriend doesn't mirror your worth, okay? So that's one. Mm-hmm. Number two is to be super crazy about how you, I always use the word crazy, right? It's the crazy people that are crazy enough to change the world to do. I was called crazy my whole life. My dreams were too crazy. I was too crazy. My meditation and saging and affirmations and law of attraction. I'm crazy. Get your head out of the clouds. Get back to reality. Well, that has created my reality. And so I'll be called crazy all day long. And you're one of the crazies too, right? We were like, yeah, we're going to create whatever we want because we said so. So the way we speak to ourselves, and my favorite tool, and I'm holding up my sticky affirmation, which my favorite affirmation of all time. I got really into affirmations at the age of 19. Louise Hay, like my old freaking mentor of my whole life, a book called You Can Heal Your Life fell off the shelf at a metaphysical bookstore at 19, which was really my spiritual awakening and really affirming why I was able to manifest everything I had in my life. From being an NFL cheerleader to a television show, was because of the way I spoke things into existence with so much power and conviction, even though everybody around me told me I was crazy. Like, you're not going to make the NFL because you can't do the splits and you have a small chest and your nose is too big. Even family members telling me that I was dreaming, wanting to make the NFL, and I ended up making it with no formal dance training. So I love myself and approve of myself is my favorite affirmation of all time. And I use these, I call them sticky affirmations. I wrote a book about it on Amazon, an ebook. And it went #1, but it's like, how can I learn to speak to myself, i.e. be my own inner cheerleader? And I put these affirmations all over my house, all over my car, all of my clients' cars, my students' cars, because the thoughts we think, the words we speak, and what we read, what we listen to and consume, rewire and reprograms our beliefs. Mm-hmm. And so I love and I approve of myself. I wasn't told that I was worthy much as my childhood. So I have learned that when anxiety comes up, when you start to compare yourself to another woman, when you start to make yourself feel like you're bad or wrong or not good enough, saying I love myself and approve of myself will shift it. And sometimes when I was going through my breakup, I'd have to say it all day long. Like, I love myself, I approve myself. If you get fired for a job, or you don't get that job, or someone turns you down, or you start to feel inadequate, be that person for yourself. Be that own inner cheerleader and begin to self-soothe and self-affirm your worthiness, because you are perfect, whole, and complete. And oftentimes at the beginning, when my clients will use these affirmations, they don't buy it. It's so hard for some of them to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, I love and approve of you. When I'm going to speak or I'm going on an event, it's my mantra. I love and approve of myself, because that's the only person that matters. When you put a post up and no one likes it, I love and approve of myself. I like it. When you put a video up and no one watches it, or, it's not enough for you, I love and approve of you, right? I love and approve of myself. So that's my tip #2. Mm-hmm. And tip #3 would be Make your morning ritual me time non-negotiable. I think that so oftentimes women and entrepreneurs and those that are starting a business or want to start a business or want to draw on that soulmate, they're doing all the things, and that's why they don't have what they want.
Yeah.
And as women, honestly, ladies, all we have to do is show up and put our arms open, and we draw that shit in. Like, that's how powerful we are. But if you come from lack, which is what you talked about, so many of us, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not as smart as Melissa or Amber, or, you know, they're so great and I wish I could be like that, and woo, woo, woo. Guys, we're just like you. We feel fear, we do it anyway. I'm sure there's fear about the summit. Is anyone going to watch it? Is anyone going to sign up? Right? Fear is a normal human reaction. And so making sure that me time, i.e. connecting with God, universe, source, higher power, whatever you call it, from a meditation practice, and getting to a space of, if prayer is you talking to God, and so many people hope, wish, want, and pray for their life to change, but they don't sit down, shut up, and listen. And so morning ritual has been a way for me to learn to connect with myself. And like you said, create that relationship. Asking myself every morning, what do I need right now? Is it movement? Is it stretching? Is it my essential oils? Right? I do a scan every morning asking my oils, what does my body need? Right? What mantra, what chant, what meditation do I need to do? But learning how to be your biggest fan, your biggest cheerleader, and learn how to be your own healer. And so many moms and they're go, do, and their cup is empty, and they're giving from lack. They're giving from their fumes. And so they say it on airplanes, put your oxygen mask on first. Why? Because everyone will be dead if everybody ran around trying to help everyone else in, emergency situations. So the third and final tip is make a morning ritual practice non-negotiable, because that is a form of self-love. And if self-love equals self-worth, and once you get to self-worth, you can then actually live your purpose and get paid for it. But you can't jump to your purpose if you can't even make time for yourself, before your kids, before your husband, before your business, and make sure you're winning. You're in alignment with source. So then everything you're doing, every step you take, every phone call you make, is a divinely guided action, not ego guided action, which makes you tired, stressed, overwhelmed, going, I don't know why my business isn't growing. I don't know why I don't have this. I don't know why that. Because you're putting yourself last. So me time, non-negotiable, a morning ritual that you can fill your cup up, you can connect to God, universe, source, so you can actually get out into the world and shine bright. So you work less and you receive more, you be more, you do less, and you create more money and more results in your life.
Oh my goodness. I love the sharing of your story and how you kind of started as not having that cheerleader to physically moving into a cheerleading position, and then kind of transforming it and transmuting it into just what you finished with. Like, women, all you need to do is show up. Yes. When you walk into a room and you're truly connected with your purpose, with your plan, your worth, you don't even need to speak words out of your mouth, because people, they just gravitate to you.
When you're in your power, your Wonder Woman greatness, all you got to do is show up, sister. But you have to make sure your cup is full and not need validation from anyone in the room. And that light, that is you being that lighthouse, shining your light out so bright that all those that need your services, your love, your light, your friendship will be drawn to you like a magnet, because light attracts light. So if you're dimming your light, just like if a lighthouse didn't shine and just show up, everybody would be like crashing into the rocks. These souls would be swimming around aimlessly. And that's what it's like when you're going out into the world being like, fill me up, instead of just being like, no, this is who I be. And look, it takes practice. It takes freaking practice to love yourself. It takes practice to own your worth. It takes practice to own your power. And for so many centuries, we were disempowered, and it's in our DNA, and we got to do the things to like break these lineages and take our power back and realize we are magic. We are magic, and our words are magic. They're magic wands. And it starts with us learning how to speak to ourselves in such a way and affirm and cheerlead ourselves in such a way before we can actually be walking into a room and being like, it's okay if you don't like my dress. It's okay if you don't want to speak to me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just here doing the best I can, and I don't need you. But I would love to love you and show up with you and create with you.
Mm-hmm. So ladies, as a recap, what is it that you need to be doing in your life, your business, your relationships? According to Amber, number one, take that inventory. Stop the guilt, stop the shame, stop feeling bad. It's okay right where you are. Just acknowledge it, and then ask yourself the question, who can I reach out to that can help support me? How can I create this turnaround from where I am right now? So take that inventory and be completely honest with yourself. Use those affirmations. Step number two, use the affirmations. I love and approve of myself, because the moment that you can start feeling it inside your body and have your cells vibrating at that frequency is the moment that you will show up in that room. You will make it a non-negotiable, which is step number three, to fill your cup so that you can then radiate that out into the world. And, you know, if you're a woman who has kids and has a husband or has a partner, you know that you will show up as a better, more present human being when you are fully filling your cup and feeling that love from within.
So good.
Wow.
It's so good. Like, you have everything you need, and you don't have to do to receive.
Yeah.
You get to be to receive, and spirit will bring everything that is vibrating at that frequency to you. You won't even have to try.
Yeah. So beautiful. Amber, I truly thank you for showing up for all of these ladies and just like dropping a few little seeds of what matters most and how these women can, you know, transform their current results and their current reality so they can be that empowered woman.